So Chuck, did we ever have a conversation about leap days?
I
have a vague memory, but maybe it just slipped into other explainers.
I was going to say we've discussed it, but not specifically.
Not on its own terms.
It's not like, son, I'd like to talk to you about leap days.
Oh, no, come on.
The time has come. You're old enough.
You're old enough now to know about leap days.
People seem to be mystified by it.
Right.
The day just shows up in the calendar.
Yeah, because,
And
it seems very arbitrary.
It does feel arbitrary, like some high council decided that the February needed a day.
Exactly.
Right? It's very simple. Very simple.
Okay.
So the time it takes Earth to spin once on its axis, what do we call that?
A day.
A day. Are you sure?
Well, it should be.
Should be. Why not?
I mean, why not?
Okay. So that's a day.
That's a day.
Okay. Earth also goes around the sun.
Right.
How long does that take?
That's about a year.
It takes exactly a year.
Okay.
Exactly a year.
All right.
That's the definition of a year. There's no law in the heavens that requires the rotation of the Earth to divide evenly into the time it takes Earth goes around the sun.
That's true. Okay.
They're totally unrelated phenomena.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Exactly.
So we count days by rotation of the Earth.
Right.
We count years by revolution around the sun. And it turns out a year lasts 365 of these things plus 1/4 of a turn.
Okay. A quarter turn.
It's 365 days and 6 hours. 6 is a fourth of 24 hours.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how long it takes Earth to go around the sun. What are you going to do?
That's too much.
That's too much. So, what are you going to do with the 6 hours?
Right. It's too much.
Right. By the way, it's 6 hours this year, and then the next year it's 6 hours added to the previous 6 hours.
Now you got 12 hours that you don't know what to do with.
Right.
So up to half a day.
Are you going to celebrate the new year on a moving 6-hour platform?
I'm thinking about that.
No, it's interesting,
I'm
right?
kind of thinking about that right now.
You don't celebrate at midnight, you celebrate at 6 in the morning.
Right? Oh, no, forget it. Then again, that depends. That's a hell of a party. That's a hell of a party, man. You know what I mean?
So the first of those years, you celebrate at 6 a.m.
Right.
Next year,
12.
This is on the 366th day, right? And the next year would be like 6 p.m.
Right.
All right. And then the next year, back at midnight.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying.
That'd be kind of cool.
It'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, that would be kind of dope. Just like, what time is New Year this year?
Right. So in order to not have to do that,
right?
Let's go back to ancient Rome in the Julian calendar.
Okay.
They figured this out.
Of course
and they
did.
said, let's pocket those 6 hours.
Right.
Don't tell anybody.
Right.
Okay. And we just celebrate the new year early. 6 hours early, but nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
It's just a complete day. You do it at midnight. We're good to go.
Right.
Okay. You pocket that.
There you go.
Next year goes by.
Sounds so much like the Roman Senate.
The first year goes by. You pocket the 6 hours.
Right.
Second year goes by. Pocket the 6.
Another 6.
Third, pocket the 6. We're up to 6, 12, 18 hours.
The pockets are getting full.
The fourth year comes around. You don't pocket that.
Right.
Because now you got a full 24 hours.
24
You put the day back in the calendar.
Boom. There you go.
There it is.
Look at that.
The leap day.
Empty your pockets on that day.
Every 4 years, you throw in a leap day. And you give it to the neediest month.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
I mean, why not?
Right. Which, of course, is Black History Month. That's the neediest
I think
month.
in ancient Rome, it wasn't Black History Month yet.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it was.
It was Slave History Month, right?
Right, exactly.
The Romans.
For everybody, because I don't care who you were in Rome, you was a slave. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute, man. Is that a white slave over there? Hey, brother, this is Rome.
So there you have that. That is the fundamental origin of a leap day.
Right.
But here's what happened.
Okay.
It turns out it takes a little less than 365 days and 6 hours to go around the sun.
Oh, God.
It's not an exact 6 hours.
Of course. Well, it couldn't be, right? Because that would make too much sense.
It's right. That would make
too easy.
That would be technically evenly divisible
right.
by like a whole number of hours.
Exactly.
It's a little bit
just
less.
A little.
Romans didn't know this.
Right. Of course.
They didn't know this.
Well, can you blame us? We're using sundials, sir. Oh, you and your fancy astrophysical atomic clocks.
What happened then, over the centuries, there were days accumulating that were not accounted for.
Oh, they lost days.
No. There was, the days that should have been reckoned and were not.
And they were not.
Okay, so, all right. So the consequence of this is that key moments in the calendar related to like the universe end up shifting.
Right.
So the first day of spring, the vernal equinox, March 21st,
right,
over the centuries became March 20th, and then March 19th,
right,
and then March 18th, March 17th,
right,
March 16th,
right,
March 15th.
Oh.
And they were just living with it, not figure what
is happening in the spring, guys?
Spring is
just sprunging all over the place. We can't have spring sprung in February.
Right. It was marching its way early in the calendar, century by century.
Right.
Okay. This was a concern. Why?
Right.
Because the Julian calendar, with its rules for Easter, because Christianity was now in charge, okay? So Easter, the definition was, Easter is the first Sunday after the vernal equinox.
Right.
Pope Gregory, we're now in like the late 16th century, so 1580s.
All right.
Pope Gregory notices that Easter is moving with the equinox because it was defined by the equinox.
Right.
And there was a risk that Easter would land on Passover.
Oh, we can't have that.
Can't have that.
Oh, you know you can't have that.
It was hard enough to get people who might have otherwise been Jewish to be Christian.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Your Eminence, I believe the Jews have a plot to ruin Easter.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can't have that. Plus, think of what effort it took to call Sunday the Sabbath. He's noticing this and said, we've got to fix this. So he gets his smartest folks in his contingent.
Wait, the Pope had scientists?
Yes.
Get out.
Yes. Serious. Highly educated scientists. Okay. To this day, there's a Vatican Observatory. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes. The popes, and who are they? They are the Jesuits. The Jesuits are the academic order among the orders of Christianity, of Catholicism. Okay. So
Jesuit priests.
Yes, and so they founded many of the Catholic universities that persist to this day.
Right.
Okay. For example. Okay. He tasks them to say, fix this. They study the movement of the sun, moon, and stars in the sky, and they say we have not been properly reckoning leap days, and they conclude extra leap day had accumulated every 100 years.
Okay.
That's too many, and that was not reckoned, and that shifts the vernal equinox backwards in the calendar.
Okay.
All right. In order to fix this, they said, all right, let's jumpstart it. Put the equinox back on March 21st. You got to put it back there.
Okay.
That's where it belongs.
And what you do with all them days?
I know. Okay, by then it was on March 10th.
Wow.
Okay, so in October 1582. October. Okay. They're saying, time to jumpstart the system.
All right.
So they took 10 days out of October. Look, dude, you're the Pope. You have the power to do this.
I'm going to say that's too much power for one man to have. Just like, guess what, October? You just got cut.
I'm sure the Pope sounded exactly like that. Like angry black man.
Yeah. Guess what, October? Dominus Spiritu, half the month is gone.
Right. A third of the month is gone.
And you know why? Because that's when we owe rent.
So they took 10 days out of October.
Dang.
So October 15th followed October 4th. Okay, did I do my numbers right there or something like that? Okay.
Yeah.
And you have to I don't know if that was the invention of amortization, but how do you decide what rent to pay?
Right.
You have to sort of get the fraction of the month, divide, multiply by your rent by the fraction, and that's what you pay. Okay. We still stay with the 4-year rule, except every 100 years, which is still divisible by 4.
Right.
Because 100 is divisible by 4. Every 100 years, we take out the leap day that would otherwise be there.
There you go. And now we're balancing out.
We're balancing out.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
However,
okay,
the Jesuits were badass.
All right.
They said that undercorrects it. That undercorrects it by a little bit. Okay.
I got to tell you, this moving New Year's Eve thing is looking real good right now.
So if you look at the undercorrection, now it's going to happen on a even longer time scale. So what you find out is, at what rate have you undercorrected it? Every 400 years, you got to put a leap day back in. Because 400 years is still on a 100-year cycle.
Right.
But every 400, you got to put it back in.
Now, who is alive to remember to do this?
That's what I'm saying. Okay. So This was the amazing fact about the year 2000.
Okay.
If you didn't know what I just told you, you say, well, of course it's a leap day. It's divisible by 4.
Right.
No. You know how rare that leap day is? It's a century year divisible by 400.
Right.
That gets a leap day. 1900 didn't have a leap day. 1800 didn't have a leap day. 1700 didn't have a leap day.
So no day put in.
Okay, 1600 did because that was right after.
It just happened.
It just
1582 is when it happened.
Exactly.
So 1600 still got the leap day put in.
Behold the Gregorian calendar.
Look at that. What a mess.
No, wait. The Jesuit priests figured that out without a telescope.
Oh, that's amazing.
Telescope was not yet invented.
So they just looked up at the night sky to do
yes,
that?
and made measurements.
Yes. Wow. Now
Yes.
that's impressive.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the leap day simply makes up for the fact that we don't count years by whole numbers of days. And we got to throw in a day every 4 years, and not every 100 years, but then back again every 400 years. Now, if you're born on a leap day...
Oh, too bad.
you
got screwed.
Okay, so the real way to do birthdays is to know exactly where Earth is in its orbit.
Right.
And celebrate that moment every year.
Oh, there you go.
And then you don't have to worry about what they call the day, what day of the week, what day of the month. It's the orbital time. How do you count in time around the sun?
And that's your birthday.
That's your birthday. What else is weird is how precise we count the new year.
Right.
Let's go into Times Square or wherever.
Right.
And you see the countdown clock.
Right.
Okay. And then it hits midnight. But excuse me, it hits midnight for your time zone.
Right.
There's 24 time zones.
Exactly.
All right. The 24 slices of the earth.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then they celebrate it and they celebrate it. So there's nothing magical about the moment.
We're not all celebrating the new year.
Correct.
No, we're not, right. You're celebrating the new year where you are.
Where you are.
And that's it.
Right. By an agreed upon calendric system.
Exactly.
The time frame.
And if you're in Times Square, you probably missed it because you were peeing in a bottle.
That means it's time to end this explainer.
Yes, it is. Okay.
On that note. This has been yet another explainer.
Yes.
The leap day, more than you ever cared to freaking know about it. Neil deGrasse Tyson here, your personal astrophysicist with Chuck. Keep looking up.